How much fun is this, man? Get to play some more football. First thing I'd like to say is congratulations to Armani Dawson. Very seldom do you get to come in contact, play, line up beside. I say beside, I never lined up with the offensive line, but I lined up beside him in stretch lines sometimes, and beside a Hall of Famer. So proud of him. So I'm sad that I won't be able to make it up there tomorrow for the induction ceremonies. I did get a chance to spend some time with him a couple weeks ago. He's excited, his family is excited, and everybody, all the ex-players that I've talked to are excited for him. So, and we'll DVR the ceremonies. I can't wait to hear his induction speech. Dermani is a classy guy and represents the blue and white, or the Big Blue Nation, the right way. That's exactly what we stand for. Sean Blaylock will have season-ending knee surgery tomorrow. Actually, the 7th. I'm sorry. He will report to camp, which he reported today. We will then be able to replace him because of surgery. It's a season-ending surgery. It occurred in high school after his commitment to us, and he missed a couple games, came back, played a couple games after that, but after getting here on campus, he required surgery that will end his season. He will have surgery on the 7th. We'll keep him here for a couple of days, send him home until training camp ends, and he'll be back here when school starts. But it's a season-ending surgery. Also, I've always said that the hardest thing about being a freshman is to get them to be sophomores, and we have an academic casualty, and Marcus Caffey. Marcus Caffey is ineligible for the 2012 season. Our solution, he will practice, he will still be a part of our program, but will be ineligible to play in the 2012 season. Our solution to this matter will be Martavius Nellums. Martavius Nellums, 2 years ago, three of our best players in the secondary were lined up at the corner. Okay? You want to try to get your best players on the field. Okay? Martavius Nellums was the best option to move to safety. He was the most physical guy, so we moved him to safety. This year, it's now turned to where we have our better players are at safety. When you start thinking about moving a guy to line up at corner, Martavius is, because he's played there a couple years, he's probably the most athletic safety that we have. We'll move him to the safety position. We also will, with Blaylock also being out, we'll move J.D. Harmon. We had raving reviews on the athleticism, the toughness, the mental toughness that J.D. had showed this summer by Coach Rock Oliver and a lot of our veteran players. So we'll move J.D. Harmon to the corner position. He'll still be a kick, punt return guy. He's a long, lean athlete that we got to continue to try to get into this program, and he'll be a guy that will move to that position. I don't want to talk about, this is the last, I don't want to answer any questions about the Marcus Caffey deal. That's it. We move on. That's reality now, and we'll focus on getting prepared for this season and getting prepared to play the University of Louisville. We're excited to be back here on the field, have an opportunity to compete with this team, this 2012 team. Why are we excited? Because I get that a lot. Okay, that's usually y'all's first question is why? Why is there so much excitement? Well, I'm excited because of the leadership that we have on this football team. We have sat down and talked about who we thought were some of our leaders, and since January, that list has grown. It's doubled. There's a lot of leaders on this football team, and they showed that throughout our off season, throughout spring football and throughout the summer workouts. I'm excited about the dedication that this football team has displayed. I'm excited about the hunger that this football team has shown. There's numerous times, it wasn't a weekend. I can't remember a weekend. We've actually have had to change our system and how we get into our offices because there's so many of our players wanting to get in to watch film on Saturdays and Sundays. There was numerous times that Max Smith has 6 or 7 guys, Coach, I need to get in. Okay, I'll get somebody there. Or Avery Williamson, Coach, we need to get in and watch some film. I got these young guys here. We're all here together. So we have had to change our system of how we enter our building. We're in the process of getting a system where our players can get in there at any time. We've never had that. Okay, we have never had that. Where guys were just couldn't wait to get in the building on the weekends, on their off days. I'm excited about that. That's what makes us excited. I'm excited about the commitment level that this football team has shown. I'm excited about how much they care about each other. And our goal at the end of this camp is make sure we come out of this thing one team, okay, as a team, as a better football team. So that's what makes us excited. We have some very competitive positions that bring excitement to us. The quarterback position is very competitive. The running back position is very competitive. Excited about some of those young safeties that bring competitiveness to our safety position, which allows us to move Martavius Nelms. The tight end position is a very competitive position. There's been 4 of the guys that line up at tight end have started games in their career. So I'm excited about the wide receiver competition. 2 guys that we're excited about that are freshmen, which allows us to move J.D. Harmon because there's 3 guys that our strength and conditioning staff was excited about. Therefore, we were able to move one of those guys, and that guy is J.D. Harmon. I'll tell you how excited Max Smith is. He came to us and said, Coach, I want a room with DeMarcus Sweat. I want a room with DeMarcus Sweat. I've never seen a quarterback come to me as a coach and say, I want a room with this guy. This guy's a special coach. And the same with A.J. LeGree. We're excited about the Sam linebacker position, that competition. The competition with Forrest, who done some unbelievable work in the weight room. With Corey Brown, who I'll tell you a quick story about Corey Brown and the type of person and type of upbringing that he has, which is the type of kids that we're trying to bring into this program. Corey Brown's a junior college kid, did not qualify out of high school. Corey Brown comes here on his official visit, and I did not remember this. My wife remembered this. Corey Brown on Saturday has a chance to go out and he's been in a little small town in Mississippi and has a chance to come to a city of Lexington and see how the city, how he fits in the city. He decides on Saturday night, Coach, I got a final. I got a final, Coach. I got to go back up and study. I'm not going out with these guys. Special. Then, once he goes back, finishes school, I have an opportunity to go down to Charleston to see some other kids. Corey Brown's mom drives from Charleston, South Carolina to a little small town in Mississippi. Doesn't get a hotel room, picks him up, drives him back. I'm in Charleston. Say, I got to catch a flight at 11 o'clock. Okay, I've got to catch a flight at 11 o'clock in the morning. Okay, they get in at 7 o'clock. They put his stuff in the house, drive from Moncks Corner to Charleston, South Carolina to see me without any sleep. That's the type of kids we're getting in this program. Guys that got good upbringing. Guys that we want representing the University of Kentucky. Guys that care about it. Guy all he did is come here and have a 3.5 GPA. Bust his tail in the classroom, bust his tail on the football field, in the weight room, doing the right things. So I'm excited about the Sam linebacker position with him and Forrest and Miles Simpson, who we have deemed as one of the leaders on this football team. Okay? Again, they don't always grow up as fast as we. In year 3, Miles Simpson is now one of the leaders of this football team. We saw it. It's the reason why we recruited the guy. At the will linebacker, I'm excited about that position with with Malcolm McDuffin, Khalid Henderson, who has got a lot of fire in his belly, a lot of fire. He was one of those guys that Avery Williamson would call, hey, coach, I got Khalid with me. I got to get him in here. He wants to learn. He wants to learn more. He wants to take him to the next level. So that's why we're excited about this football team. We're excited about the depth that we have at the offensive line position. Okay, the depth that we're gaining in the offensive line position. Okay, because there's 5 guys. We've never signed a full class of guys that look like the guys that we have. Okay, and there's a couple of strength levels, give them a chance to compete, to give us some depth at that position. I'm really excited about the defensive line depth. The defensive line should be the strength of our defense, should be the strength of our football team. Again, they don't always grow up as fast as we want them to grow up. PC Cobble was in the same situation his freshman year that we just talked about. PC Cobble was down one of the guys that we have deemed as one of the leaders on this football team in year 4. Okay, in year 4, he's one of the guys that we have deemed as being one of the leaders that does everything the right way we want him to do it. Okay, his GPA is now at a 2.6 after falling really far behind as a freshman, and he's becoming one of those guys that bringing guys with him. That's what we're excited about. So, with that, we'll open it up with questions. Again, I don't want to talk about the other situation. We're done with that. We're moving on. I told you the solution, and we'll keep forging ahead to prepare for this upcoming season.
Coach, with the amount of competition at some of these key positions, does that pick up the pace of early training camp for you?
It does, which is the reason why we have picked up the tempo in practice. You don't, in spring we're limited by amount of time. Or in fall camp, you're not limited in time, but you are limited in time. You only have 3 hours to work, all right, and then you have to give them a long break in between. But we're not going to take 3 hours to work. Okay, we'll go about 2 hours and 35 minutes, and but we also have to get as much reps as we possibly can to work our threes. We've never had this situation where we've had 3s and 4s to work. Okay, we've had 3s and 4s. It hasn't been 3s and 4s that you wanted to get work. Okay, we always wanted to get our 1s and 2s reps, and it might be a 3 here or there, but there's now 3s and 4s that we got to get reps. So we've got to practice a lot faster to try to get those guys, give those guys a chance to compete, give them guys a chance to get reps, so that when scrimmages come, they understand what's going on and they compete at a high level.
Coach, I know you lost your punter last year. I saw a kid, this Foster. Damn, he can punt the football.
He can. That's what he's been signed to do. Again, we've been really consistent in our evaluation process. The evaluation process for kicker and quarterback is we want to see him in person. Okay, we want to see him in person, do something in person, whether it's kicking or throwing the football. I think you can get misled by film with the quarterback position and the kicking position. So we will not sign a kicker or quarterback unless we've seen him throw in person, throw or kick in person. So, and he came here twice. Okay, we wanted to put him under pressure. Okay, we've got a commitment right now. He came here twice. Okay, that's our philosophy. Come back. See how you do with the next kicking camp.
45, 50 yards.
And all he did was line up. I stood right beside him. I want to see how he handled the pressure. Coach Nord screamed and yelled at him. I want to see how he handled the pressure. He came back the second week, competed the same way against some other great kickers, and we just like his poise. We like his confidence. We like his athletic ability. You don't have to be a great athlete to be a kicker. You have to be a great athlete to be a punter. And that's what this kid is. He was a guy that played other positions. Therefore, he's a pretty good athlete. So you've got to be a good athlete to be a punter. And similar to Mass Day and Talachka, and we feel like we just had signed the next great.
Joe, you had to your right.
Whoa. God's speaking. Where
you must win games.
Is that fake? Oh, I thought God was on his honeymoon. Jeez.
You talked about the quality of kids you're bringing in. how do you anticipate that carrying over to the playing field in terms of success?
It matters. Trust me, it matters. The type of kids you have, can you trust them? Our core value. Can we trust you? How much do they care about this football team? And are they committed? Okay, and are they committed to doing the things right all the time? Okay, and doing things right all the time, meaning if I'm a corner and I'm supposed to line up 12 yards inside 12 yards and inside the receiver, I've got to line up 12 yards and not 7 yards, 12 yards. Okay, and we're bringing kids into this program that are willing to do things right all the time.
Joe, you talk a little bit now about your depth at safety that enabled you to make that move, and also a little bit about what there is about Khalid Henderson that you really, really like.
Well, at safety, Josh Harris is a guy that has a lot of athleticism. He's long, very, very, very intelligent guy. One of the Blaylocks, I won't know which one. It's the smaller, leaner guy that had 11 interceptions and 6 of those back for touchdowns. He being in that position gives us some depth at the position. There's 2 walk-on junior college guys that are just showed up. That looking at them, and that's all I've seen is looking at them in the hallway, sitting down with them, talking to them, looking in their eyes and seeing what type of passion they have for this game that we're excited about. That give us a chance to move a person at that position from that position to another position, and it also adds depth to the position of the safety. Khalid Henderson, very focused. He's very focused, very determined. Willing to learn. He came for spring practice, and all he did was follow Rick Minner. He's a Rick Minner type of guy. I mean, he's a ball coach, is what he is on the field. You better have that at the linebacker position.
Joker, I don't know about this fight. I got a big mouth.
You right.
No problem. Did you ban Twitter, and if you did, why?
Well, I have with the freshmen. I have not met with the veterans yet, but we will. Okay, we will. So you guys can tell them if you want to when you guys interview them. I'll tell them tonight. But why? We got better things to do. Okay, we got a lot of work to do. We don't have time. Okay, I told our freshmen, hey, say goodbye tonight to your Twitter fans. Say, hey, good night. I'll see you guys August the 15th. We hope you guys show up for Fan Day, but we'll tune back in on August the 15th. So we'll say the same thing to our varsity guys. We don't have time for it, first of all. Okay, our days are, if you see our schedule, we up at 7, we in bed at 11, and there is no time to relax. No time. There's no time to Twitter. Okay, when do they do it? From the walk from the Nervous Center to the Commons Dining Hall? It's the only time they have. Okay, that's the only time they have, and I want that time spent visiting with their teammates. Okay? I want that time spent visiting with the team, getting to know. We'll give big brothers to the young guys. I want that time spent getting these young guys understanding how we do things.
Was camp only?
From yesterday for the freshmen, today for the varsity, to August the 15th. Okay. No, I won't do video games. That's at nighttime when they're getting off the feet. One of the goals that you must do in training camp is you must take care of your body. And it's a long, grueling season, and it's a long, grueling camp, and we must take care of our bodies. We don't. Time that we spend twittering, that's time that they can be in the cold or cold ice tub. That's time that they could be getting treatment from our training staff. So we don't have time to Twitter. Okay, we don't have time.
It's just until the 15th.
To the 15th. Okay. So Patrick Graffy, you guys might want to say goodbye to him. Okay.
Coach, could you talk about your wide receiver position in particular and playmakers in general for this coming season?
Again, Larod King's been a player in this program for a long time. He showed flashes from the time he walked on campus. He was a guy that made plays as a true freshman. On the road at Georgia, at Auburn, and he's done it for a long time around here. Somebody mentioned about a go-to receiver. Is he going to be I don't understand what a go-to receiver is. I've been in this business a long time. That's a cliche that you as media. Sometimes I hear coaches saying there's no such thing as a go-to receiver. You better have 3 guys out there that can make plays for you. Okay, who's watching soap operas? I said no dang Twitter. But we have to have complementary receivers. We have to have a guy, because on third down, if you got a go-to receiver, I'm going to roll coverage to him. Okay? I'm going to put somebody underneath him. I'm going to put somebody over top. And now somebody else has got to make a play for you. And your quarterback's over there patting the ball, waiting for him to get open. He's not going to get open. We got to have a number of receivers that can make plays for us. Okay, the reason why we weren't successful in advancing the ball down the field in the passing game, we didn't have any big plays. And you're not very seldom, especially if you're not a very efficient team, you're not going to be able to drive the ball 12, 14 plays a game. It's hard to do that every series. We have got to have some have to have some 30, 40, 50-yard plays. Therefore, we had to have some receivers step up and make plays for us. DeMarco Robinson. The reason why I'm excited about him, he did it every scrimmage. It was something, and not just once. So I'm talking twice, 3 times a scrimmage. You have to have a guy that can make plays consistent. He showed that throughout the spring practice. Darryl Collins is starting to come. He's starting to be one of those guys that we can depend on, that can make plays for us. That when the ball, he knows how to line up. He knows how to run routes. He's played the position for a long time. Excited about some of these young guys that just walked on campus. I think we'll have a chance to have 6, 7 receivers that can go out there and make plays for us, and not just count on Larod King to be the go-to receiver. So I think that hurts you when you just got one guy that the quarterback, and you feel like the quarterback can go to.
Joker, over here. What's the latest information you have from your medical guys about Morgan Newton and Josh Clemens, and are those guys ready to compete for starting jobs from day one, or are they still both going to have to be sort of taken easy here at camp?
Morgan Newton is ready to go. He's ready to compete. We backed him off the last week of throwing. This last week was our week off. Back Morgan off from throwing a lot to try to make sure he was able to make it through training camp. Josh Clemens will go every other day. He and Gene McCaskill, they'll go every other day. We know what Josh can do. He'll have a chance to compete. We just got to get him to the game. Josh has done it. He's done it at a high level. We just got to get him to the game, get him healthy into the game. And helping him get to the game is practicing every other day, which allows him to get some good scrimmage work, which would be like game-like preparation, and then we'll see how he comes out of the scrimmages.
Joe, you referred to this throughout the summer, I think, a couple, 3 times. So this team reminds you a little bit of the 06 team. Could you talk a little bit more about that?
Well, just the makeup of the roster. We have in our top 44 players is 26 sophomores and redshirt freshmen. That's not counting this talented group that just showed up. In 06, there were 24. Okay. Not counting the Braxton Kellys, those guys who stepped in starting for roles, which we feel like a couple of these linebackers could possibly do, and add even more depth to our program. So and then it also, what reminds me is some of the leaders, some of the senior and junior leaders, Colin Zuku, Larry Warford, Taylor Wyndham, Matt Smith, Morgan Newton, Mikey Benton, Tay Nellums, PC Cobble. Okay, that's Dante Rump is becoming one of those. I know you guys probably didn't think you'd ever hear that. He's becoming one of those guys. Okay, that understands how to do things right all the time. He had an unbelievable spring semester in the classroom, unbelievable summer in the classroom. He's becoming one of those guys that we can count on as being one of the leaders for. We'll start giving him more and more leadership roles because of that. So what reminds me of the leadership that we have at the top and the talent that we have at the bottom. That's what reminds me of the 06 team. Yeah, you still got to go out and play. Okay, you still got to go out and play. Just the makeup of the teams reminds me of that. You still got to go out and play.
Coach, Dupree looks like he could be a special linebacker.
He can. Physically, he's as gifted as a player that I've ever been around. And I've been around some very talented players at that position. He's as gifted as anyone. He, too, is one of those guys that we deem as one of our leaders that does things the right way, understands the commitment level, understands the dedication level that you have to play this game at a high level. Again, this time last year we were trying to convince him to move, that the best thing for him would be moving to a linebacker, moving to defense. He wasn't real sure. He wasn't real sure about it. This summer, he came up to me and said, "Coach, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me." Okay, it's allowed us now, when you move a J.D. Harmon, when you want to move a J.D. Harmon, hey, talk to Bud. Talk to Bud and see how this is affecting him. This has allowed Bud Dupree to be one of the premium guys in this league, I think.
Only a sophomore.
Athleticism, from a guy that has physical talent. He runs, he jumps. He's really, really smart, understands. If you saw the last game of the season last year, we rushed him from the outside. We lined him up as an inside linebacker, and he rushed the pass. We lined him up as an inside linebacker, and he dropped. Just because of his intelligence level, it allows us to move him around. When you can move a guy around that has that kind of talent, you can't account for him. Okay, you can't account for him. We see that a lot, where we have to. All right, this guy lines up on our left side. We got to have our back over here, set our protection towards him, have our back over here to help chip. You can't account for a guy like Bud Dupree because you don't know where he's going to line up at. And the reason why he's able to line up in a number of positions is because he's so smart. He understands all the different packages.
How quickly do you want to make a decision at quarterback, and where does Patrick Towles fit into that?
Well, I want to make a decision at the quarterback position as fast as we possibly can. I wish we didn't have. I wish the decision was already made. It's not. The reason why it's not because of the competition that we have there. And Patrick Towles figures in this. He figures in it a lot. He's a guy that we got to find out how much he can do. He's a guy that can make plays with his legs, with his arm. He's a smart guy. He threw 46 touchdowns last year, 1 interception. It's unbelievable. So we've got to find out how much he can do for us. We will give him an opportunity. He and Jalen Whitlow an opportunity to be live at times because that gives them the best chance to compete. Okay. Sometimes Dante runs by him and thinks he's tackled him and the play's over. You've seen the great quarterbacks that have the athleticism and the ability to elude tacklers, get away from some of those tacklers. So we'll give him a chance to compete as a live player in our offense for at least one scrimmage to see how he can play under fire. I think you need to do that also for a freshman quarterback because they really don't understand the speed at which the game is played at this level. So we'll give him every opportunity to compete for the position also.
Could you talk a little bit about A&M and Missouri coming
Say it again?
into the league? A&M and Missouri coming into the league.
Yeah, I've said this. The best league just got better by adding 2 quality institutions, 2 quality football programs, 2 great coaches, and that's what's lost in this league. Everybody talks about the talent level, and we have all these #1 draft picks coming out of this level, won 5 national championships. We got great coaches in this league too. We just added two more great coaches in this league. Everybody talks about the adjustment for those 2 programs, those 2 coaches. Those 2 coaches have had success everywhere they've been. Whether it's Toledo or Missouri or Houston. Someone was at Oklahoma. He had success, and he'll have success at Texas A&M too, because they understand how to adjust. They don't understand how to coach football. That's what it is. It's still football. They know how to adjust to it.
Joker, question in the back left here.
Thank you. Players in the spring told us all along the way that it adds a little extra motivation and focus when you have Louisville week 1. What have you noticed about the energy in the spring and what you expect to see in the fall?
Well, what I've noticed in the spring is, again, how hungry this football team is. Okay, we've been to 5 straight bowl games. We missed last year. Okay, we missed last year. And that's what I've noticed. I don't, regardless of who we're playing. Okay, it adds a little bit more because they're only 80 miles away. It adds a little bit more because it's our in-state rival. But that's what I've noticed the most: is how hungry, how committed, how many guys are trying to lead in this program. That's what I've noticed. Not so much, because of who it is, regardless of who it is. That's what I've seen.
Joker, you're now a veteran as a head coach. How have you changed as a head coach, and why do you think you're better?
How have I changed? He said that was the last question. You're a veteran in your business. Every year you go find a way to make yourself a better person in the business. You're gonna find different ways to try to motivate in this business. Try to motivate not only yourself, your staff, all the people around you. I feel like I'm better at those things. I also understand all the commitments that the position has. Again, maybe Jen asked me about what's the biggest thing that I didn't realize that comes with this position that showed up, and it's the commitment level. Okay, as when I first got back here, I was the only person that people knew on the staff 10 years ago. So I had requested, do this, do that, do this, do this, and I was wanting to go out and sell our plan, sell our program. So I did it. As a coordinator, it became a little bit more than the amount that I had to do. As a head coach, it's off the chart how many times I have to go out and try to sell our program, or the requests that you get. So I understand the ones I need. I understand how to prioritize those. I understand I need to do this one now, this one now. I'll put this one on hold and I'll do this one next year if we get a chance. I understand that from March to May, I do nothing. I don't do anything. Before, from March to May, I try to do everything I possibly could. Okay? I don't do anything during those months. I understand that I do them in July and June. Okay? I understand that in August to December, you do absolutely nothing outside the program. Okay? Before, I tried to fill everything I possibly could. And I think that has made me a better football coach. It's given me more time to focus on coaching football. Okay? But just no offense to anybody out there that I turned down, but I just don't have time. I just don't have time to do it. The thing that I have to do is make sure we're preparing to get this football program ready to play every game. Not just one game, okay, every game.
So I think that's the reason why I'm a better football coach, by saying no to some of the requests that we have.
Coach, are you pretty well, you like the facilities?
Thank you, guys.